Hello and welcome, class 11th Commerce. Today's topic is public corporation or statutory corporation. Right? Before this, we have discussed the departmental undertaking. Fine. So now in this lecture, I'll be covering the topic statutory corporation. You can call it public corporation also. Okay. Wherever you have seen this corporate word, okay, corporation word with the name of that business or that activity, economic activity, so that is called statutory corporation, that is from the special act. So the statutory corporation is a body corporate formed by a special act of parliament. So this thing has to be done. This is economic activity. Most of the public welfare is necessary to be done, but revenue is also to be generated. Okay, so in this way they used to have statutory corporation for that particular type of business. Okay, it is a type of business. Okay, but not for making profit, but for creating revenue for the public welfare from that activity. Okay, so a statutory corporation is a body corporate formed by a special act of parliament, or it is formed by central or state government or legislature. Okay, it is fully financed by the government. Okay, I have mentioned the definition that statutory corporation is a body corporate formed by a special act of parliament, one thing, or by central government or the state legislature or state government also you can write. Second thing is, it is fully financed by the government. Okay. Fine. The starting fund or initial amount of startup of this corporation comes from the government, because it is made by the parliament, which is a system of government, or central government or the state government. That is why initial stage funding is done by the government. Its powers, objects, or you can say objective, okay, limitations, etc., are also decided by the act. Okay, so third point is its powers, that means authority. Okay, then objects or objective, and limitations, their foundations, etc., are formed by the or act. Fine. So whatever the powers, objects, and limitations of a particular statutory corporation are formed or decided by the legislature or that particular act. Okay, like you can have the examples of very famous corporation, that is LIC. Okay, so this is Life Insurance Corporation. A special parliamentary act was passed through which LIC came into existence. The initial funding, starting funding, is done by the government. Okay, what are the authorities or powers of LIC, what are the objective of LIC, what are the limitations of LIC, are decided or formed by that act of parliament only. Fine. We can have Indian Oil Corporation, IOC. Okay, Indian Oil Corporation is one of the example. Okay, Air India also, although it is not having the name corporation, but even then, for your knowledge, Air India is not a company. Air India is a body corporate. Okay. SBI or State Bank of India, RBI, okay, are the famous examples, right? And above all, nowadays it is very famous, Food Corporation of India, okay, FCI, Food Corporation of India, okay. One more, ONGC. There are many, okay. So Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, fine, they can have limited words also, limited, okay. ONGC Limited, FCI, okay, State Bank of India. So because their powers, their objectives and limitations are different from each other, and their powers, objectives and limitations are decided by the act only. Initial funding is done by the government only. They came into existence through special act of parliament, right? You can note down all these points. Then we will be discussing some of the features of public corporation. So let us discuss the features. Fine. Altogether, there are 10 features I'll discuss. First, I'll discuss all these things, then I'll write down. Okay, you can note down all those things. So, the main characteristics or features of a public corporation, whether they are LIC, FCI, ONGC, State Bank, Air India, RBI, okay, IOC, any. So, these are the common features of all the public corporations in India. Number one, it is created by an act of parliament or by central government or by the state legislature. One thing clear. Second thing, the powers, objective and limitations of public corporations are defined in the act only. Okay, already decided, these they have to perform. Okay, for these they are authorized, they are and they are limited up till these things. All these things, powers, objectives, limitations are mentioned and defined in the act only. Okay. Third thing, it operates under total control of central or state government. Okay, that means the over and above authority over each and every public corporation is of the central ministry, central government or the state government, whosoever has established them. Fine. Then fourth is, it is a separate legal entity. It gets corporated or incorporated automatically when act is passed in the parliament. Okay, so they are having their own separate identity, okay, other than its members or the government. They will work or they will incorporate, register automatically when that act, special act is passed in the parliament in both the houses. Fine. Then it is managed by the board of directors, who are nominated by the government. Okay. And sixth very important point is that the public corporation has its own rules of recruitment, means selection and training of the employees. Remuneration means the payment of its staff and employees. Right. So 6 point I'll be writing. Then we will be discussing 7 to 10 points again. Fine. right? So you have, I think you have noted down all these 6 points. Let me read them again. First feature is it is created by an act of parliament, already discussed, or parliament or central or state legislature. Okay. The powers, objectives and limitations of public corporations are defined by the act, we have discussed. Okay. Then it operates under the total control of state or the central or the state legislature, okay, or the government. Then it is a separate legal identity or entity. It gets incorporated automatically when act is passed in the parliament. There is registration. Incorporation means registration, okay. It automatically get registered as soon the act is passed, okay, in the parliament. So it is managed by the board of directors who are nominated or appointed by the government. Fine. Then the public corporation has its own rules of recruitment, means appointment, and remuneration, means the payment for its staff and employees, right? These are the 6 points. Then 7 onwards points, or as there are 10 points altogether, it enjoys administrative autonomy. Okay, that means how to manage, how to control the activities. It is having total autonomy, means freedom, administrative freedom, as it is relatively free from political interference. Okay, although central government or state government is controlling them, but much interference on political part is not entertained, because they are powerful, or they are powered or authorized by the parliamentary act. Okay. The main motive of public corporation is service to general public. Okay, not free service with payment, okay, but service to general public, like LIC used to give, okay, ONGC used to give, IOC used to give, State Bank of India, they used to give, okay, but these services are not free, but services to general public, okay, for all. Then it is accountable. Every corporation or statutory corporation is accountable, that means answerable. Accountable to the parliament. Okay, they will have to answer in the parliament about their performance. They can be accountable in the parliament or the state legislature for its operations. It has to submit its annual report on its working. Fine. And the last point is the accounts of public corporation are generally audited, okay, checked by the comptroller and auditor general, CAG, you have listened the name, okay, comptroller and auditor general appointed by the government, right? So you note down all these 6 points and then I'll write down 7 onwards. Fine. So let us discuss other 4 points of features. 6 points you have written down. Okay, we have discussed 7 to 10 points. Okay, let me make them more clear. 7th point is it enjoys administrative autonomy. Okay, management freedom, as it is relatively free from political interference. Okay, the main objective or motive of public corporation is service to general public. Then it is accountable, means answerable to the parliament or state legislature for its operations, for its activities. It has to submit its annual report of its working. Fine. Then the accounts are checked or audited by the Comptroller Auditor General, CAG. Fine. So these are the other 10 points. I hope you have understood. You note down all these points, then we will be discussing the advantages or merits of public corporation. Fine. Now let us discuss the merits or the advantages of public corporation. Merits or advantages of public corporation. Fine. So there are 5 features I'll be discussing. Fine. I'll write down the headings. I'll give the lectures. I'll make all the points clear to you. Fine. And it is your duty that you have to note down all these things by making notes of all these 5 points. You have to show it to me. Fine. First is administrative. Just discuss with you autonomy. Okay. The first advantage of public corporation, that no political interference. Okay. Least. A public corporation is able to manage its activities and affairs with independence and flexibility. They are free from any political interference. So they are administratively free, administrative autonomy. Fine. Second thing is quick decision making. Although these public corporations are from the government controlled by the central or the state legislature or the parliamentary control is there, but even then they are having least political interference. That is why quick decision making takes place. Okay. So the public corporation is relatively free from the red tapeism. Okay. Interference and control of the unguided people. Okay. Unlearned people. So as there is less file work and less formalities to be completed before taking decisions, it takes quick decisions, or it leads towards quick decision making. Okay. Third point is service motive. Okay. The basic objective, the main objective of public corporation is to serve the society, serve the general public. So the activities of public corporations are discussed in the parliament. This ensures protection of public interest. That is why service motive came. Okay. Then fourth point is effective staff. That means they work with result orientation. They focus on results. They focus on organizational objectives. Okay. The public corporation can have their own rules and regulations regarding the remuneration, recruitment of employees, as we have discussed in the features. So it can provide better facility and attractive terms of services, packages to the staff to secure efficient working from its staff or the members. Right? You can note down that the public corporation can have their own rules and regulations. regarding recruitment and remuneration of employees. So it can provide better facilities and attractive packages, terms of services to the staff to secure efficient working from its members or the staff. Okay. Then fifth is professional management. Right? How they are professional managers? Because its board of directors consists of business experts and also the representatives of various groups such as labor, consumer nominated by the consumers nominated by the government in the board of directors. Okay, so they used to have professional management in all the fields. Okay, no any field can be neglected, whether it is labor, whether it is consumer, other stakeholders, okay, representative from the shareholders, okay, like this. So they are having professional management. So these are the advantages of public corporation. You note down all these points and then you make your own notes. We will discuss this thing furthermore. Fine, but there are certain limitations also. Okay, limitations or demerits of public corporations. Okay, let us discuss those also. Demerits or limitations of public corporation. Okay. First, autonomy on paper only. Okay. Okay. That means practically they are not having administrative autonomy. The autonomy and flexibility of the public corporation is only for namesake. Naam matra ki. Okay? Namesake. Practically, ministers, government officials, and political parties often interfere with the working of these corporates or corporations. Okay? So they lose, in the process they lose their administrative and other type of autonomies in operations. Okay, this is one of the limitation, because autonomy is just in papers. Okay, the board of directors, the corporation officials have to follow the instructions, have to take care of the interference or the viewpoints of the ministers, government officials, other political parties. Okay, because they always used to interfere with the working of these corporations for their own or private gains. Okay, then second is lack of initiative. Okay, lack of initiative, that means they are not having freedom to take their own decisions. Okay, or if they have some creative idea in their mind, if they take any initiative, so that they are bound to take, because they are controlled by the rules and regulations. So public corporations do not have to face any competition. Okay, and are not guided by the profit motive. Okay, because there is no initiative, fixed salary will be given, fixed remuneration, fixed returns will be there. So there is no any initiative in terms of profit, because they are for the benefits, for the service of this general public. So they cannot think regarding profit motive. So public corporation do not have to face any competition and are not guided by the profit motive. But in some of the areas, or in many of the areas, it is seen that this point is now having no relevance, because they have to compete with the MNCs, they have to compete with the other private players in their own area of operations. Like LIC is having, previously LIC was not having any competition, but now they are having much competition in the market. Even then they are having leading share in the market as far as insurance area sector is concerned. Okay, SBI number one. Okay, other banks are also there, foreign banks are there, private banks are there. Okay, public, you can say cooperative society banks are also there. So nowadays they are not having much relevance of this point, but even then we are discussing. So the employees do not take care or take initiative to increase the profit and reduce the loss. So the losses of public corporations are made good by the government. Okay, they have to bear, government have to bear all these losses. Okay, then they are having rigid structure, fixed structure. Okay, they cannot change it. They are bound by the rules and regulation, the parliamentary act powers limitations. So the objects or the objectives and powers of public corporations are defined by the act. Okay, and these can be amended, means changed, modified only by amending the state or the act. Okay, amending the act is a time consuming and complicated task. So there is less possibility of modification as far as the structure, their authority responsibility relationship, their structure, their powers and objectives are concerned in the act. So they are having rigid structure. Okay, because they have to follow the same lines of command. Okay, then fourth and very unusual point, that unfair practices. Okay, it is seen somewhere that there are some unethical or unfair practices are going on in the corporations. Like the government board of a public corporation, that means the board of directors, may indulge in unfair practices. It may charge unduly high price to cover up inefficiency. Okay, so these may be some of the reasons of its unpopularity, or these can be the demerits or limitations of public corporation. They are having less autonomy. Okay, autonomy is just on papers, lack of initiative because they don't have to compete. Okay, rigid structure, modification is possible, but with it is a very complex process, complex task, time consuming also. Okay, unfair practices on the part of board of directors in some of the corporations. Okay, I'm not saying all, but in many corporations it is seen, okay, that they used to have their own interest. Okay, individual, for the gain or individual gain, they used to do the unfair practices with that fund or that those policies. Okay, or the rules and regulation they manipulate. Okay, so these are the limitations. I hope you have understood the whole topic of public corporation. You have seen many of the examples. Okay, although it is moreover suitable where there are undertakings require monopoly powers. Okay, single seller, many buyer. Okay, where undertakings require special powers defined by the act. Okay, or where the undertakings require regular grants from the government, or where the undertakings require appropriate combination of public accountability and operational autonomy, there public corporations are more suitable. Fine. So with this I end up this session. we'll meet again with new topic, that is government companies. Okay, so till then, note down all these points, make your notes, show it to me, fine, through the mail or the WhatsApp, fine, mentioning your name, so that I can check those assignments, fine. I can make sure that you have understood all these topics. This chapter, these topics are very, very important for a commerce student. Okay, rewind the lecture, listen it again, so that you can understand well. Fine, till then, take care, goodbye, thank you very much.